Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I am discussing the exercises of tissues class 9. Okay, just first see, define tissue and histology. Tissue, a group of cells along with intercellular materials performing a specific function. Histology, histology, that is the study of tissues. When we ask who coined the term, the name tissue, it was given by the scientist Weichet, right? It was the term, it is given by the name of the scientist Weichet. In the form of flowchart, show the classification of animal tissues, right? Now, in the form of a flowchart, see here classification of animal tissues. Animal tissues, they are divided into four groups: epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscular tissues, nervous tissues. Epithelial, they form the outer covering of the body. Connective tissues, they connect two different type of the tissues together. Muscular, that is the muscular part of the body formed by the muscular tissues. And nervous, they are made up of neurons. They help in transferring the message from one place to another. Now here first epithelial tissues, they are first divided into two parts: simple epithelial and compound epithelial. Simple epithelial, they are made up of a single layered cells, and compound means multi-layered in thickness. If the tissues, they are made up of a single cell, they are known as simple epithelial tissues. If they are made up of two or more than two layers, then they are known as compound epithelial tissue. Now this simple epithelial tissues, based on the shape of the cells, they are divided into five types: squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, pseudostratified ciliated. Squamous means square shape, cuboidal means cube shape, columnar means longitudinal cells, as in the presence of the columns. Pseudostratified, in between columns, triangular cells are present. Ciliated, if these cells, whether squamous, cuboidal, or columnar, if they had cilia, then they are termed as ciliated epithelium. Now, based on function, they may be divided into glandular, sensory, germinal, pigmented, ciliar. If they are found in the glands, they are the glandular tissue. If they are concerned with the sensory part of the body, sensory cells. Germinal, that is in testes and ovary or the reproductive part of the body. If they had pigmented, means in the skin where melanin pigment is present. Ciliated means they have the cilia, as in your intestinal tract, in your kidney cells, kidney tubules are there, so that the proper flow of blood was supposed to be maintained by these ciliated cells. Now, connective tissue, it is important, it connects two different layers, bind up. It is also known that the joining tissue, binding up tissue. Connective tissue proper, skeletal tissue, and vascular tissue. Connective tissue proper, it consists of areolar tissue. Here, areolar tissues, it has basically, connective tissue consists of three things: fluid matrix, fibers, and cells. White fibrous, yellow fibers. Adipose means the fat cells are the present, and some may be reticular also. Skeleton is made of bones and cartilage. Vascular, that is the blood and lymph through which the fluid flows in our body. Transportation of each and every materials is done through these blood and lymph. That is what your flowchart classification of the animal tissue. I hope everything is clear to you. Now here, tabulate differences between blood and lymph. Now here you see blood and lymph. Blood, it consists of fluid connective tissues that forms fluid plasma, and RBCs, WBCs, platelets, they are dissolved in the plasma. And protein, salts, hormones, and enzymes, they are present in the plasma portion. Whereas lymph, it is straw colored fluid similar to blood in composition but lacks RBCs and protein. Here RBCs, proteins present in blood. In lymph, RBCs and proteins are absent. Blood flows in blood vessels circulating throughout the body. Whereas lymph flows in lymph vessels. In blood transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones to the tissues and organs, whereas in lymph, it transports nutrients into the heart and forms the defense system of the body. Next is modulated nerve fibers and non-modulated nerve fibers, right? Under modulated means they are the neurons. If the medullary sheath is present, they are modulated nerve fiber. If medullary sheath is absent, they are non-modulated. Actually, what happened? Axon cells present, axon cells, they are covered on outside by the three layers, in which innermost layer is known as axonema, middle layer is your medullary sheath or myelin. Medullary sheath and myelin, they are name of one and the same thing, or myelin sheath, and the outermost layer is neurilemma. Neurilemma, double M A. Neurilemma is present. So if medullary sheath is present, they are called modulated nerve fiber. If medullary sheath is absent, they are known as non-modulated nerve fiber. Now, myelinated fibers, they appear white. Myelinated fibers, they appear white, means modulated fibers appears white, whereas non-modulated fibers, they form the gray matter, and modulated fibers, they forms the myelinated, means modulated sheath fibers, they forms the white matter of the central nervous system in the brain, whereas non-modulated fiber, they forms the gray white matter, they forms the gray matter. In the gray matter, non-medullary sheaths are present, and non-medullary sheaths, they are also found in the sympathetic system. Those which are governed in the sympathetic system nerves, they are also non-myelinated or non-modulated nerve fiber. I hope it is clear to you. Now the next one, that is your tendons and ligament. Tendons, they connect bones to muscles. Ligaments connects two bones together. Tendons, it is formed by white fibrous connective tissues. Ligaments, they are formed by yellow fibrous connective tissue. Tendons contain more matrix as compared to ligaments. Ligaments contain very little matrix, right? Tracheids and vessels. Tracheids, they are long and narrow cells which taper at the end, whereas vessels is not one cell but a series of cells joined end to end performing a long tube. पहले ट्रैकिड्स होते हैं, ट्रैकिड से ही वेसल्स बनते हैं और दोनों का ही फंक्शन एक ही होता है. नाउ द नेक्स्ट, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Collenchyma, they are the living cells with slightly thick cell wall. Sclerenchyma, dead cells with thick cell wall. Collenchyma, they are elongated, irregularly thickened at the corners with very little means intercellular spaces are less. Cell, they are long and narrow, walls are thickened due to lignin. Intercellular spaces are totally absent. Intercellular spaces totally absent in sclerenchyma. They're little present in collenchyma and large intracellular spaces in parenchyma. Now, what is the difference between bone and cartilage? Matrix is the hard and formed of mucin protein and calcium and magnesium phosphate, whereas in case of cartilage, the matrix of cartilage is solid but elastic and formed by chondrin protein but contains no salt. Here, calcium and magnesium phosphate salts are present. Here, these salts are absent. Matrix is arranged in rings called lamellae and Haversial canal. That is the characteristic. Presence of Haversial canal is the characteristic feature of mammalian bone. Matrix not arranged in rings and has no canals. Bones are inflexible and porous. Cartilage is flexible and non-porous. Blood vessels are present in the bone. Blood vessels are absent in cartilage. Right? Now here one more, meristematic and permanent tissues and xylem and phloem. Now here you see xylem and phloem. Xylem consists of dead cells, phloem consists of living cells. Xylem consists of tracheid, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem phylus. Phloem consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Phloem parenchyma and phloem fiber. Xylem conducts water and dissolved minerals from roots to the aerial parts of the plant, whereas phloem it translocates food made by leaves to the storage organ and growing parts of the plant, means translocated to each and every part of the plant. How will you differentiate meristematic and permanent tissues? Excuse me. Meristematic tissues, these are small and isodiametric in shape, and permanent, these are variable in shape and size. Whereas intercellular spaces are absent. Here, permanent tissue internal spaces are present. Vacuoles are absent in meristematic. Large and prominent vacuoles are present in mature cell. Cell walls are thin. Here, cell wall may be thin or thick. Thin in parenchyma and thick in collenchyma and thickened in the sclerenchyma. Cells divide again and again. They have the dividing capacity. Cells do not divide permanent cell. Cells, they are undifferentiated. They are not, but here the cells are fully differentiated. It's a simple tissue. It may be simple or it may be the combined tissue. Right? Okay. Now discuss the functions of the following. Now here, look at here. The functions. Xylem. Xylem helps in the upward movement of water and salts. Phloem. Phloem helps in the translocation of food from leaves to all parts. Meristem. The main function is to form a number of new cells by repeated division. Apical meristem increases the length of the plant. Lateral meristem increases the diameter and girth of the plant. Intercalary meristem increases the length of an organ, means leaves or the branches. Ligaments, they hold bones together at the joints. Cardiac muscle fiber, they are the pulsating movements and rhythmicity of the heart are controlled by these muscles. Do not get fatigued. The cardiac muscles are present only in the heart. Osteoblast, dividing cells of bones, helps in growth of the bone. Right? Give four characteristics each of the following. Epithelial cells. These cells are closely placed and form continuous sheet. Cells are cemented together by viscous cementing substance formed by glycoproteins. The surface of cells may be smooth, cuboidal, or columnar. Blood vessels are absent. Nerve endings may penetrate the epithelium. Connective tissues, the few number of cells are present. Large intercellular spaces are present. Ground substance called matrix fills the intercellular spaces. White and yellow fibers present in the matrix. Right? The next, meristematic tissue. These cells possess the power of dividing. The cells are spherical over or polygonal. The cell wall is thin and made up of cellulose. Intercellular spaces are absent. Cells with prominent nucleus is present. Right? Okay. Now here one more question. Can you consider a cluster of X as a tissue? No, we can't consider cluster of X as a tissue because X are separated, whereas tissues are present one end to end without any intercellular spaces. They are similar in origin and function, whereas the X, each egg gives rise to a chick after 21 days. So it cannot be tissue. Egg itself is a group of tissue. X, a cluster of X cannot be a tissue at all. Right? Give a brief account of various types of cells found in the connective tissues. Brief account of the various types of the connective tissues. Just look at over here. The several of the, here you can see connective tissue summary. Areolar connective tissue, it consists of white and yellow fibers with irregular cells scattering in the matrix. It occurs, fills the spaces inside organs found around muscles, blood vessels, and nerve. Its main function: joins skin to the muscles, supports internal organs, fights bacteria, helps in repair of tissues. Tendons, they connect muscles to bone. They consist of collagen bound together areolar connective tissues. They are inelastic. Ligaments, because muscles and bones are binded together, and ligaments, they consist of elastic yellow fibers bound together by areolar connective tissue. They connect bones to each other. Adipose tissues, oval or rounded cell filled with fat droplets. They are found below the skin between the internal organs, yellow bone marrow, and their function is storage of fat, produces heat. Skeletal tissues. Skeletal tissues, nervous tissues, intercellular matrix composed of protein, slightly hardened by calcium salts, blood vessels absent. They are found in cartilage, ear pinna, nose tip, epiglottis, intervertebral disc of the mammals, rings of trachea. It provides supports and flexibility. Bones, they are hard, porous, impregnated with phosphates and carbonates. Okay, means carbonates and phosphates are prominent magnesium in the bones. Blood vessels present in the bone marrow, and their internal skeleton is made up of the bones. They protect the internal delicate organs, provides attachment of the muscles, help in locomotion. Bone marrow makes the blood cells. Fluid connective tissue, they are the two parts: blood and lymph. Blood, it consists of a fluid plasma and formed erythrocytes, leukocytes, platelet dissolved in the plasma, and protein, salts, hormones, and enzymes are present. It is present in blood vessels circulating throughout the body. It transports oxygen, nutrients, hormones to tissues and organs. Lymph, it is straw-colored fluid similar to blood in composition but devoid of, means RBCs and proteins are absent but they are present in the blood. It flows in the lymph vessel and it transports nutrients into the heart and forms the defense system of the body. I hope it is clear to you. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in your comment section. Now you see the next one. Give an outline classification of the animal tissue. You talked about the animal tissues. We have already discussed here the classification, outline classification. Tissue that form, now the next, name the following. Tissue that forms the inner lining of our mouth, squamous epithelium. Tissue that connects muscles to bones in the humans, tendons. Tissue that transports food in plants, phloem. Tissue that stores fat in our body, adipose tissue. Connective tissue with a fluid, and the matrix, it is the blood. I have not mentioned here. That is the blood. Fluid and the matrix. Fluid, it is the tissue present in the brain. That is the nervous tissue. Neurons are there, all the nervous tissue. Identify the type of tissue. Skin, squamous epithelium. Bark of a tree, cambium. Bone, skeletal tissue. Lining of kidney tubule, cuboidal epithelial cells. Vascular tissue, vascular bundle, they are xylem and phloem. Right? This I'll just see in the next exercise. Now here see, give one word for each of the five. Group of cell performing specific function, tissue. Study of tissue, histology. Bundle of yellow fibers connecting bones, ligaments. Dividing cell at the tips of the root and stems, apical meristems or meristematic tissues. Activities under control of organisms' willpower, striped muscles or striated muscles. Here, leukocytes, soldiers of the body. Phagocytes, to engulf foreign particles in solid state. Adipose tissue, storage of fats. Xylem and phloem, vascular bundles. Axon and dendrites, neurons. What type of tissue? Fill spaces inside a plant stem, parenchyma. Supplies a plant with food, xylem. Transport oxygen to various parts of the body in man, blood. Brings about movements in man, that is the muscular and skeletal tissues. Binds the tissues together, connective tissue. Transports water and salts in plants, xylem tissue. forms supporting framework in your body, skeletal tissues, conducts messages from one part of your body to another, that is the neurons, nervous tissue, right? Now here at the last, one more question you see it here. Study the given diagram, complete the following, state the given table. Name the tissues present over here. What is the tissue? First one, parenchyma, B, collenchyma, C, sclerenchyma. Now their functions, just you say it. Parenchyma, they stores food, temporary support, prepare food if chloroplast present. What is the function? Stored food, temporary support, prepare food if parenchyma, if they have chlorophyll, they are known as chlorenchyma, then they help in the manufacturing of the food. What is the function of the collenchyma? The function is they provide mechanical support, prepared food if chloroplast present, then they are present in the young dicot stems or herbaceous plants. And sclerenchyma, their main function, protection and mechanical support. Where are the following tissues located in the body? First one, that is the ciliated epithelium. When we ask about the ciliated epithelium, they are present in lining the trachea, kidney tubules and oviduct. They are present in lining of the trachea, kidney tubules and oviduct. Ligaments. Ligaments, they attach the bones to each other at the joints, so they are present in the joints of the body. Neuroglia. Neuroglia are the cells. As the neurons are present, dendrites are spread. Now, in between the dendrites, through the particular organ, जो न्यूरॉन सेल्स उसके जो डेंड्राइट जो स्प्रेड होते हैं, उसके पास में जो सेल्स न्यूरोग्लिया होते हैं, जो सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम में और पेरिफेरल, दे आर द एक्सटर्नल, दे आर सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम, ब्रेन एंड स्पाइनल कॉर्ड, एंड इन द पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम न्यूरोग्लिया सेल्स, दे आर द प्रेजेंट, न्यूरोग्लिया आर द सेल्स, वो सेल्स होते हैं जो डेंड्राइट्स के क्या सिग्नल ऑर्गन तक पहुंचाते हैं, जो स्मॉल स्मॉल सेल्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं, न्यूरॉन से अटैच्ड उसका काम करते हैं, उन सेल्स को हम न्यूरोग्लिया कहते हैं, though it is not mentioned in your book at all. So neuroglia are the cells, so they are present in between the dendrites or the dendrites or the axon of the terminal ends to the particular part of the body. इसलिए ये सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम, ब्रेन और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में और पेरिफेरल नर्वस सिस्टम में न्यूरोग्लिया सेल्स जो है वो प्रेजेंट होते हैं. Next is your unstriped muscle fiber. Unstriped muscle fiber, they are found in the walls of the alimentary canal and internal organs, ducts of glands, urinogenital ducts and blood vessels, right? Stratified epithelium. Stratified epithelium, it is found in the lining of the trachea and bronchi. Bronchus है जो trachea wall होता है उसमें present होते हैं, और जो bronchi होता है उसमें stratified epithelium present होते हैं. Reticular tissues, they are found in the spleen, lymph nodes and tonsils. Actually, reticular, they are the star-shaped cells which forms the network. They are found in the spleen, lymph nodes and tonsils. Next, meristematic tissues, as you know already. Meristematic tissue is present at the growing tips of the root stems and also in the growing young leaves near the tips of the leaves. जब छोटी सी निकलती है तो उसका full form shape, जो full fledged leaf grown up होती है, वहाँ भी meristematic tissue होते हैं, and in the root tip and the shoot tip where they grows in the length. Sieve tubes, they are present in phloem cells which helps in conducting the food made by leaves to the different parts of the plants. Parenchyma, they are present in the cortex of the roots, ground tissues in the stems and mesophyll of leaves. They are present in the cortex of roots, ground tissue on stems and mesophyll of leaves. Cuboidal epithelium. Cuboidal epitheliums, they are present in the lining the body of nephrons of kidney. किडनी के जो नेफ्रॉन्स होते हैं उसमें होते हैं. गोनेट्स मीन्स रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स, टेस्टिस एंड ओवरी, and in the sweat glands, these cuboidal epithelial cells are present. Adipose tissue. Adipose tissues are found below the skin, between the internal organs, and yellow bone marrow and below the eyeballs. Below the skin, between the internal organs, in yellow bone marrow, and below the eyeballs. Right? Next one is your areolar tissue. Areolar tissue, it is present below the skin, in the kidney, testis, between and around the muscles. जो टेस्टिस के आसपास जो मसल्स होते हैं उसमें एरोलर टिश्यूज, और किडनी के आसपास जो मसल्स होते हैं उसमें एरोलर टिश्यू प्रेजेंट होते हैं, और स्किन में नर्व सेल्स, they are present in the brain and the spinal cord. As you know already, nervous system, that is the neuron, that is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. They are the nerve cell. They are present in the brain and spinal cord. Right? Now here, the next question you say it over here. Describe various types of. Now, yes, this we have already done. Supporting cells culture. Describe various types of simple epithelial tissue. When we ask different types of simple epithelial tissues, then you see simple epithelial tissues. Simple epithelial tissues, they are the first: squamous epithelium, columnar and glandular epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and ciliated epithelium. इसमें squamous epithelium, they are flat plate-like cells with no intercellular spaces. They are found in the lining of the skin and cavities of ducts and blood vessels, and their main function protects underlying parts from injury, entry of germs, chemicals, and drying up. Right? Columnar epithelial cells, they are taller than broader. ये लंबे ज़्यादा होते हैं, चौड़े कम होते हैं. With nucleus towards the base, nucleus नीचे है, and certain cells adapted for secretion. इसीलिए इनको ग्लैंडुलर एपिथेलियम, मतलब जो अगर ग्लैंड्स में प्रेजेंट है तो ग्लैंड का सिक्रीशन इसमें होगा. दे आर प्रेजेंट इन इंटेस्टाइनल लाइनिंग, इंटेस्टाइनल जूस सिक्रे, स्वेट ग्लैंड्स में, टीयर ग्लैंड्स में, सलाइवरी ग्लैंड्स में ये कॉलम ग्लैंडुलर एपिथेलियम होते हैं. What they give? Mechanical strength and connected concerned with the secretion. अगर ये स्वेट ग्लैंड्स में है तो सिक्रीशन से है, और अगर दूसरी जगह प्रेजेंट है तो ये मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेंथ देते हैं. क्यूबॉइडल एपिथेलियल सेल्स, ट्यूब लाइक सेल्स होते हैं, बट दे आर फाउंड इन किडनी ट्यूबल्स, सलाइवरी ग्लैंड्स, एंड दे गिव मैकेनिकल स्ट्रेंथ. Ciliated epithelium, they are cuboid or columnar cells with protoplasmic outgrowths. ये साइटोप्लाज्मिक, ये इसमें प्रोटोप्लाज्मिक आउटग्रोथ होते हैं सीलिया, इसलिए ये सीलिएटेड, मतलब सीलिया प्रेजेंट है तो सीलिएटेड एपिथेलियम हो गए. दे आर लाइनिंग ऑफ द ट्रैकिया और ओविडक्ट में होते हैं. दे कीप आउट अनवांटेड पार्टिकल्स, हेल्प्स मूवमेंट्स ऑफ एग, मतलब ये फ्लो होता है इंटेस्टाइन में भी, जैसे कौन है जो किसी भी चीज को एक जगह रुकने नहीं देते, दे कीप ऑन द थिंग्स वट एवर इन कम्स, तो उसको फ्लो को कंटिन्यू करते हैं. अच्छा, इसी में जो है एक और आपका क्वांटिटी दी है, दैट इज द सीडो स्ट्रेटिफाइड एपिथेलियम. उसमें क्या होता है, आप देखिए स्पेसेस हैं, तो इससे पता चलता है कि ये सेल्स हैं, लेकिन ये सेल्स नहीं होते हैं, ये स्पेसेस है, ये सिंगल सेल. इसीलिए इसको मॉडिफाई कर देते हैं सीडो स्ट्रेटिफाइड एपिथेलियल सेल. सो दैट इज व्हाट अबाउट द डिस्क्राइब various types of simple epithelium. Now describe briefly the structure and the functions of different types of tissues present in plant. In the different types of tissues present in plant, that's simple: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. And complex tissues, they are made up of xylem and phloem. Xylem helps in transportation of water and minerals from different parts of the plants. The xylem consists of fossa, xylem vessels, xylem tracheus, xylem parenchyma. Phloem cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem cells are present. Now parenchyma, they are isodiametric in shape, generally overall spherical. They are thin, cell wall is thin, made up of cellulose, nucleus is present, they have large vacuole in the center, and they have large intercellular spaces are present. Whereas in case of collenchymatous cells, they are elongated as compared, इसकी अपेक्षा ये कुछ लंबे होते हैं. Cell walls uneven, thickened at corners with the cellulose at corner. Nucleus present, vacuoles small comparative to the parenchyma. And intercellular spaces generally absent. कॉर्नर्स में थिकेंड होते हैं लेकिन बहुत कम होते हैं. Whereas parenchyma ये एंगुलर सेल्स होते हैं. सेल वॉल हाईली थिकेंड ड्यू टू द लिग्निन. इसमें लिग्निन होता है, इसमें पैक्टिन होता है, इसमें सेलुलोज. सेल वॉल मेडअप ऑफ सेलुलोज, इसमें लिग्निन पैक्टिन की बनी होती है और ये लिग्निन की बनी होती है. न्यूक्लियस एब्सेंट, दे आर द डेड सेल. वैक्यूल्स आर आल्सो एब्सेंट. इंटरसेलुलर सेल्स टोटली एब्सेंट. अकरेंस ये कॉर्टेक्स के रूट में, ग्राउंड टिश्यू में, मेसोफिल सेल्स में होते हैं. कॉलेनकाइमा बिलो एपिडर्मिस इन द स्टेम, जनरली एब्सेंट इन रूट, लीव्स एंड मोनोकॉट स्टेम. ये सिर्फ डाइकॉट्स में ही मिलते हैं क्योंकि ये थिकेंड करते हैं. हाइपोडर्मिस इसकी बनी होती है. पस्कनकाइमा ये स्टेम में जो कि स्टेरिटी देते हैं, वेन्स लीव जिसमें भी कड़ापन, स्ट्रेचिंग, हार्ड कवरिंग ऑफ सीड्स एंड नेट, दे आर मेटल. इसका मेन फंक्शन प्रोटेक्शन एंड मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट. दे प्रोवाइड मैकेनिकल सपोर्ट एंड if they are green in color they help in the, as in young dicot herbaceous plants mein, then they prepare the food. Parenchyma they store food, temporary support, and they prepare food of the chloroplast, right? And besides that you have it here, that is the phloem cells and xylem cells here. Now see, complex tissues, they are made up of xylem cells. Xylem cells, they are made up of the four elements: xylem tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. They are found in the vascular bundles. Its main function, conduct water and minerals, and they give mechanical strength to the plant. Phloem cells, they are the conducting tissues. They consist of sieve tubes and companion cells. Sieve tubes, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and the sieve plates. Its main function, they conduct, prepare food from the leaves to the storage organs and growing parts of the leaves. So that is what about the, explain the structure and functions of the, briefly the structure and functions of the different types of tissues present there. Blood is the river of life. See, blood is the river of life. How you can see? Because blood is the connective tissues. Now this blood, it helps in blood, it helps in the transportation of various materials, nutritive elements, gases, excretory products, and hormone. And it is the different connective tissues, that is blood and the lymph. It goes throughout the body. It connects the different parts of the body, and that's why we can say that blood is the river of life, because through it, transportation of digestive food from intestine to the different parts of the bodies, excretion of the various materials through the kidney and through the skin and through the lungs, with the help of blood only it occurs. Now explain the structure of mesostomatic tissues, that we have already done. Differences the various types of muscle fibers. When we talk about the muscle fibers of the different types, now here the muscle fibers you had it. Here, see, striped, unstriped, and cardiac. Muscle fibers, they are of the three types. Striped muscle, they are formed in the long cylindrical cells. The fibers are in the form of bundles. Each muscle fiber is distinct sarcolemma. Myofibrils show alternate light and dark. Each cell is undifferent, multinucleate. These cells are multi. They occur in limbs, tongue, and body and the wall. Contract quickly but cannot contain contracted for a long time. Soon gets fatigue under control of will. Means they are found attached to the bones and muscles. They are also known as skeletal muscles. That is the striped muscles. These striped muscles, they are found attached to the bones. They are found attached to the bones, and most common part, this arms, legs, body wall, face, and neck movement occurs. Whereas unstriped muscles, they are spindle-shaped cells. Fibers are arranged in the form of sheet. Sarcolemma is absent. Myofibrils are without light and dark bands. Each muscle cell is uninucleate. They occur in the walls of alimentary. Means all internal organs of the body, they are made up of unstriated muscle. जो किडनी है, हार्ट है, इंटेस्टाइन है, स्टमक है, ये सब unstriated muscles के बने. They are not under control and they are involuntary in function. They are voluntary in function, striped muscle. Unstriped, they are involuntary. Cardiac muscles, they are also involuntary. Cardiac muscles are present only in the heart. You can see the diagram over here. You can see the light and dark bands are present, nucleus is present, they are also multinucleate, they had the septa, so the cells are, but as because main function is contraction and expansion. Due to contraction and expansions, they are the present. They are sarcolemma, myofibrous distinct, each muscle cell is uninucleated, they occur in the walls of the heart, contract quickly and rhythmically, they do not get fatigue. They start functioning before 2 months before the birth of the child. Till death, they continue to function. What is fluid connective tissue? Where it is found in the body? Describe its function. As you know already, fluid connective tissue is the blood. Where it is found? It is found in the blood vessels. What are their functions? Now see the functions. Blood is the transporting tissue, helps in the transportation of various materials in the body, transportation of digested food from the food pipe to different body, transportation of oxygen to body cells, transportation of carbon dioxide from body cells to lungs for elimination, transportation of excretory products from body tissues to kidneys for elimination, transport of hormones. WBC, they engulf the foreign particles and protect against diseases, and platelets helps in blood clotting and prevents loss of water. They are the main functions of the blood. Transportation of digested food, transportation of oxygen, transportation of carbon dioxide, transportation of excretory product, transportation of hormones, and WBCs protect against the diseases, and platelets helps in blood. They are the important functions of the blood. Blood is present in the blood vessel and it is a fluid connective tissues consist of blood and lymph, right? They are found in the connective tissues. We have already discussed here different classification of the connective tissues here. Different cells found. I give a brief account of different types of cells found in this. Same question is repeated here. Now mark whether the following statements are true or false. In monocot stem, intercalary mesostem located at the base of the internode. Yes, the statement is true. Intercellular spaces are present in collenchyma. Intercellular spaces are fever in air, though it is not true, it is the false statement. Intercellular spaces are seen abruptly, बहुत कम दिखाई देते हैं. Phloem helps in the upward conduction of water and minerals, false. Xylem helps in the upward conduction of water and minerals, or phloem helps in transportation of fluid. In place of phloem, correct statement will be xylem. Mesosphaeric cells are totipotent, yes. Totipotent means they has the capacity of division. Cambium has the apical meristrum, yes, it is true. Collagen fibers are inelastic in nature, yes, it is true. Ligaments attached muscles with the bones, it is false. Ligaments attach bones with the bone. They join two bones together. Central body of nerve cell is called axon, it is false. Central body of nerve cell is called cyton, C-Y-T-O-N. Central body of nerve cell is called cyton. Medullated nerve fibers form gray matter, it is false. Medullated nerve fibers form white matter. This I gave you differences between the medullated and non-medullated nerve fibers. There I gave you. Earlier I have discussed in the previous video. Adipose tissues prevents the loss of heat from the body. Yes, the statement is true. Now study the given diagram alongside and answer the following question. See the diagram, it is transverse as well as longitudinal section of the bone. Name the tissue it shows. Now see, name the tissue it shows. Study diagram answer there. It is that tissues, they are the TS and LS of the bone. Tissues are the present, they are the osteocyte cells are there. Label the parts represented A to F. See, This is A. A is concentric rings. ये आपको दिया है. ए जो है ये ओपनिंग है, सेंट्रल कैनाल है. ये कॉन्सेंट्रिक रिंग सी में है. सी जो है आपका ये पेरिस्टोमियम है. ये सी पोर्शन है. सी इज पेरिस्टोम. C. A is your concentric ring, B is your Haversian canal, C is your peristomium, D is Haversian, again it is the Haversian canal, the same structure is there. E is Haversian lamellae, E is Haversian lamellae, and F are osteocyte. 3 is the marrow cavity. Third, name the cavity present in it. It is the marrow cavity. Fourth, name the tissue filled in the cavity. Name the tissue filled in the cavity. The tissue filled in the cavity, it is full of bone marrow. State one function of the tissue filled in the cavity: formation in bone marrow, formation of RBCs and WBCs. Name the longitudinal canal. Longitudinal canals are Haversian canals are there. Name the transfer canals that connect the longitudinal canals. Volkmann's canal. Volkmann's canals are the transverse canals that connect longitudinal canals in it. I hope it is clear to you. Any doubt anywhere, you can ask me in the comment section. Again, we will meet in the next video. Thank you, children.